Hey guys, it's Bro You Whack, and comp drives are back in Overwatch 2 for this weekend, which means everyone's gonna be losing their competitive games. Ironically, competitive drives were supposed to drive people to play competitive at the very end of the season, but what it's doing is the complete opposite. It's actually influencing people to not want to play competitive. A large portion of the Overwatch community are saying that their games are so bad and they're losing so many of their games. But if people are losing all their games, somebody has to be winning. And well, that somebody is me, because every single time competitive drives comes around, my games are so good. 29%! But I recognize my experience is an anomaly, but that's why I'm here to make this video, to talk about the problems with competitive drives, how we can fix them, but also more importantly, what you can do to make your competitive drive weekend better, even though today is the last day. But it can still make even your regular competitive days better. But first, we gotta identify the problem. Why does playing competitive during this drive weekend suck the most for so many players? Well, it's all because of the quick play warriors that want an easy Jade or gold weapon, of course. For the three people that haven't been traumatized for the competitive drive weekend and don't know how this weekend works, basically this is an exclusive 3-day weekend where you can play competitive and get two main rewards. A badge title that is exclusive to the season that goes away in the next season, but what most people are after are competitive points. And the kicker is that you can earn up to 3,000 competitive points just by playing during this exclusive weekend, which makes it an easy target for quick play warriors that are scared to play competitive but see this as an easy way to get a Jade or gold weapon for their main. So they migrate over to competitive and ruin the quote-unquote high quality matches that competitive players typically get. And I say air quotes because are they really high quality? All jokes aside though, it does make the quality of matches, well, worse. But why is that? Why is having quick play warriors in competitive so bad? And it all has to do with MMR. MMR is basically just the hidden algorithm that helps decide what level of player that you are. And it's a lot easier to decide what MMR you're at for a competitive player because you're playing at a highest level in competitive rather than a quick play player that plays quick play every day that's going against hammer only Torbjorns. So while you might be a gold level in quick play, if you go in competitive, you're not going to be that same gold level player. So for quick play warriors, that might be the reason why you're not having that good of a time in competitive. It's because, well, people are actually trying. I mean, I think that's a pretty logical explanation, but for everyday competitive players, that's why your games are so bad, is because you're getting people that are quote-unquote gold players in quick play in your gold matches that play like a silver, bringing you down. I don't know how that's supposed to make you feel better, but that's just why your games are bad. And you can say, okay, well, why do they even have a drive weekend to begin with? And while it sucks in the short term to have people migrate to competitive, in the long term, this is a good thing for competitive because we need those quick play warriors to populate competitive because that can only mean good things for the queue time. If you get more people playing competitive, it's shorter times to find a match and a quote-unquote higher quality matches when playing competitive because there's more people to pick from that are closer to your rank. But while the quality of matches sucks during the drive weekend, the rewards suck just as much, especially these badge titles. For those that don't know how the reward system works, because you might know about badge titles and also competitive points, but how you actually earn them is with this drive score point system. And how drive score is calculated is based on the percentage of rank that you get at the end of the match. If you win a game, it multiplies your percentage gain at times 10 and it adds to your drive score. If you lose a game, it multiplies your percentage by 5 and it decreases your drive score. So combine that system with the lower quality of matches means that a lot of people are just not gaining drive score. They can't even reach the first checkpoint. Now that is the silver lining with drive scores, is that once you reach a checkpoint at 400, at like whatever, 900, so on and so forth, you can't go any lower than that. But you have to reach that checkpoint first. And again, people are just not even able to get to the first checkpoint. Could that be a skill issue? Yes, it could be. Just win your games, forehead. It's not that hard, but it's not that crazy of a reality of losing 2 games to your 1 game, losing 4 games to your 2 wins. And look, I understand that we don't just want to be handing out rewards all willy-nilly. We want to actually influence people to try to win their games, which is why there is this D rank system with a drive score, taking away drive score score if you don't win. But what this does in this already depressing environment that's known as competitive is not only are people losing rank, but they're also losing the drive score that they already worked up. Like, there's two things that's actively working against a player that is getting low quality matches. So what this does is that it influences that competitive player to not play during this weekend. It's doing the complete opposite effect of what the drive weekend is supposed to do, which is to influence more people to play competitive and, more importantly, win and try at the end of the season. So not only does the drive score system suck, the rewards that you get also kind of suck. I like the competitive points, but the badge titles are borderline useless because they go away once the next drive weekend comes around. Now, I understand that's kind of the whole point of titles, is to make them exclusive and a one-time thing, but it's like I work up to show off my level of virginity just for my virginity to go away. That was a terrible metaphor, but you get what I'm trying to say. So let's get that virginity back by talking about how we can fix competitive drives and this quote-unquote god-awful weekend that people are experiencing. Because again, I love drive weekend, but I know I'm an anomaly. First thing, we gotta change how drive score is calculated. We can keep the times 10 multiplied whenever you win a game, but I wanna lower the multiplication whenever you lose from times 5 to times 3. Look, as much as it sucks to lose drive score, we gotta have this D-rank system in place because that makes the rewards that much more rewarding to earn. Because if everyone was eventually able to get the rewards, nobody would care. I don't know if the group up score bonus was in the last drive season, but I like how they added a 50-point group up score, but I want to add on top of that by adding a win streak bonus. If you win 2 games in a row, you get an additional 50-point bonus. If you win 3 games in a row, you get 100 bonus score. If you win 4 games, 150. And this just continues to snowball the more games that you win in a row. If you lose a game and then you win 2, it's back to 50. What this is gonna do is reward good players, because we need to find more ways to reward good players rather than punish bad players. But what this is also gonna do is get the Smurfs out of this drive weekend faster, because Smurfs are inevitable. They're gonna get an easy jade and gold weapon, but if they're gonna be winning 10 games in a row, then they're gonna get the drive score a whole lot quicker, which means that they're not going to be playing on their Smurfs as much. This means higher quality matches and also more added points to your drive score because you're losing less and you're gaining more. Another change that I want to do specifically to the prestige titles is to give you an option to keep them. Now, I kind of get the idea of keeping them temporary and for having the Roman numerals represent you getting to the max level, but if I want to be honest, I don't really, me personally, I don't really care to reach the max level. I don't care about the Roman numeral to carry over into the next season if I can't really keep them. So if they can add a customization option to either go back to the red badge title or keep the purple badge title or whatever the third one is going to look like maybe it's going to look green, I want to be able to customize it and keep it, because if I'm going to be going and grinding out through the weekend and grinding to the top level, I want to not only keep it but also choose which one I want to use. But that's how Blizzard can fix competitive drive weekend. Here's what you can do to make your drive weekend this much more better. The first tip, you gotta play in the afternoon. Stop playing at night, because at nighttime people are sleepy, people aren't as talkative, which means they're not coming, and they're also just less sharp. You're gonna get higher quality matches, using air quotes here, during the afternoon than at nighttime. Next tip, join VC. You don't have to talk in voice chat, but at least listen to the one person that is coming, because just listening to one person means that you're gonna be a lot more coordinated more than likely than the enemy team. The next tip is play the meta. I mean, it's only for this weekend, and if you really want those drive rewards, you're gonna do anything. You're gonna do counterplay, you're gonna play Malga, you're gonna play Juno and Brigitte and Kariko to cleanse the Ana anti-grenade. You're gonna do all the lame tactics in an effort to get your jade and gold weapon. And the fourth and final tip that I didn't even know about, so I'm sure there's some people that also didn't know, play with one other person, because that'll count as a group, which means that you're gonna get a bonus 50 points every single time you play, even when you lose. And that's how we can improve the competitive drive weekend in Overwatch 2. Are they going to implement these changes? Well, I don't see why not, because it's easy changes, can make it a whole lot more enjoyable. But until they actually do implement these changes, I love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. More Overwatch 2 videos to come, and bye.